show them credit. When you show your bro for leverage. What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? What a hypocrite said. What community feel they the only ones relevant? You out of pocket, yeah, you out of pocket. You entertain the mediocre, need to stop it. You entertaining old friends when they toxic. What your life like? You gossip. What the fuck is council culture, dog? Say what I want about you. I'm like Oprah, dog. I treat you like I'm Jigga. Watch I own it all. Oh, you worry about a critic? That ain't protocol.
Yeah, alright, my flow sinister. This ain't rap music, this straight literature. Small-minded, all your ideas miniature. They tend to hate on you when they can't get rid of you. I ain't going nowhere, 20-year career minimum. Call Hit Boy for beats, ask for 10 of them. I don't follow trends, I swing the pendulum. If the bag good, I'm gonna get it.
By many accounts, one of the most underrated home venues in all of the NFL resides in the heart of Nashville, Tennessee, and that's where we find ourselves at Nissan Stadium. Today we hit Week 10, and we've got a good one in store between the Denver Broncos and the Tennessee Titans. The shadow's starting to get a bit longer. Week 10 of the NFL season is here, and we're underway on EA Sports. And that decision to bring it out ends up not being a good one. Costs him about 5 yards as he's tackled at the 20. Jones looking to throw right away. Eluding the pressure right. And that is caught on the right sideline, but out of bounds, says the line judge. The throw took him a little too far. It's second down. After the incompletion, here's 2nd and 10 from the 20. First carry for Najee Harris. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. 2 yards the loss, and now 3rd and 12. Let's see what they have drawn up here. A little bit behind the line. 12 yards needed to gain a first down. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target. Incomplete.
That was their first 3rd down try of the game, and clearly something was off in the execution of that play. Good news, they've got a whole game left to clean that up and start clicking on those key 3rd down throws.
Here's Morstead now as he sends this one away. This will be fielded at the 17. A pretty good punt, but a nice 13-yard return. And it'll be Titan football. So 1st and 10 now from the 30. To throw his car. And it's incomplete. Took a shot, couldn't connect.
Man coverage is certainly a staple of their defense, and it's built for plays like that, forcing that incompletion.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Carr steps away to his left. And he slings one that's incomplete.
Tough series for the passing game. Things just aren't clicking. Hoping they can come through on this play and get this series back on track with a completion for enough yardage for a first down.
Throwing his car on 3rd down. Going for Metcalf on the deep ball. And that will be incomplete. Well, they weren't scared to let it fly, but it falls to the ground and brings up 4th down. So the Titans are forced to punt as Brett Kern is on to do the honors. Back deep is Tyreek Hill. This is taken at about the 14. So a good punt, but a solid 12-yard return. And the Broncos take over, 1st down and 10. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. 4-4, their record through 8 games on the season. Would you say that this team has overperformed, underperformed, or are they kind of right where you thought that they would be?
Do you mind if I say yes, yes, and yes? Because ultimately to me, 4-4 is about where they should be, because we've seen weeks where they've been really, really good. They've looked terrific. Other weeks where we wonder just how good is this team. They want to be consistent in their play, not consistently inconsistent, which is what they've been thus far.
Meanwhile, this one knocked down in the backfield. It's incomplete. So 2nd down and 10. Once again, they'll go from the 40. Now Jones. And the Titan defense steps up here, and down he goes. Khalil Mack has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. Now on 3rd and long, they'll look to throw. This will be taken in by Michael Pittman. He's going to go out of bounds, but he takes this one down just shy of the 20. So the big play gets him all the way down to the outskirts of the red zone here for 1st and 10. Throwing Jones. He gets it complete to Harris. And they're going to get this down to about the 17-yard line here.
And a nice gain and a broken tackle along the way, and really we shouldn't be surprised, should we? That's what runners do, especially the best ones. They break tackles and gain extra yardage.
The slot man in motion right. From the 17, Jones. And this is caught for a Bronco touchdown. Michael Pittman, his 6th touchdown of the season. And the Broncos will jump on top with the game's first score here this afternoon. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And it's now a 7-0 game. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. And that one will bounce out of the back of the end zone, so we will start here at the 25. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And, Charles, if the season ended today, and it's not going to, we still have December left.
More football.
We're only in November. But they would be a wild card team. And that's great. They'd be in the playoffs, but you know they're trying to bump up to be one of those division leaders.
That guarantees you at least one home game in the playoffs, and that's what you're really seeking. But there also isn't much margin for error for this team, right? Because right where they're sitting, a 2-game losing streak could have them out of the playoffs, so they've got to make sure they continue to keep the momentum going.
Absolutely. There's some sharks smelling blood in the water behind them. They'll go with Pollard here on 1st down. And this time they were ready for him as they'll stop him right at the line of scrimmage. The Titans at 6-2 to start play. And they come in off a loss last time out, but overall they've been playing pretty well. 6 wins in 8 prior to that defeat.
And you have to believe that this is a pretty angry bunch. They only put up 3 points in their last game. I would expect them to be in better form here after a serious week of practice. No surprise at all. They're looking for the big man early in this one. The only surprise for them, he couldn't hang on to the pass.
Now Carr. That's complete to DK Metcalf. And they're going to be set up down around the 15-yard line. That one goes for 36 yards. So after the big play, look at this, all the way down at the 15 now on 1st and 10.
1st and 10 at the 15-yard line.
Into the red zone, it's Carr. On the move to his left. And he just throws this one away. Smart decision here this close to the end zone, and it brings up 2nd down.
This is where good coaching and execution come into play, because down this close, you absolutely don't want to turn it over. Good job keeping that in mind as he escaped, bought time, and decided throwing it away was his best option.
Out to his left. And he can't get rid of it. He's taken down. Fuller run show Fatukasi in there to bury him for a loss of 11. On 3rd and long, it's Carr. Got a man, and it's taken in for a Titans touchdown. DK Metcalf, 26 yards. And the Titans are an extra point away now from tying this ball game.
Well, that's what I call an answer right there. They gave up a sack on the previous play. How about what they did to finish things off, turning it right back around?
That's the response, and that O-line feels a lot better now, don't they?
Yeah, without a doubt, because giving up the sack on the previous play, that just hurts those guys because they never want to see their guy get hit.
These two teams all tied after one. So all even at 7 now as they kick it away. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Coming off every player's friend, the open week from last weekend.
Oh, there's no doubt about that. Even if you're coming off of a loss as they did, the open week is exactly what you need after you kind of get over it a little bit, right? Rest up the mind, rest up the body, get yourself ready to go. And they have to be eager to play again, especially since they lost the last time out.
And he's going to be out of bounds, but not before he takes it inside the 40. Give him back-to-back catches now. That one for 16 and another first down. A run with Harris out of the shotgun. And he'll follow his blockers there all the way down to the 23-yard line. 12 more yards there and another first down. Off play action. Jones. And that is incomplete.
Well, a momentary speed bump there with that throw, partner. The defense had other ideas, and they tried to mount a small stand before this drive reaches the end zone.
On the draw, it's Harris. They'll get him to the ground at the 20 following a pickup of 4.
The passing game's been working quite well so far, but the running game's been a little bit of a struggle. That's a surprise to me. Typically, when you can throw it, you open up lanes for your runners.
They are in need of 6 yards here if they hope to move the chains. To throw on 3rd down. Jones looking end zone, but it's incomplete.
What an excellent defensive stand there in the red zone. Nice tight coverage. They certainly recognized how important it was to bring up 4th down here.
Now Jones throwing on 4th down. He's going to go up top for the end zone. And incomplete on the deep ball. The Broncos unable to convert here on 4th. And as a result, it'll be Titan football on the turnover on downs. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. They'll run with Pollard to begin the drive. And some space here. And he takes us beyond the 35 before going out of bounds. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. One play has him to the 37 here for 1st and 10. Now a play fake. Carr. The completion good. This is Eric Ebron. And able to get this one across the 45 before he's brought down. Back-to-back good plays have him on the move on 1st down. Carr. Oh, he tries to get it to Metcalf, but it's intercepted. Picked up by Levante David. And the Broncos are going to take over once again at their own 37-yard line. And, Charles, that's now 4 interceptions over his last 3 halves of football because, remember, he threw 3 picks last week.
Starting to wonder if maybe defenses and those coordinators have identified something on tape with what he's doing. Maybe a movement, maybe the way he's moving his shoulders. Who knows what it could be? He could have a few tells out there that they're keying in on and allowing defenses to get to the football a little bit faster. People steal signals. Maybe sometimes they can figure out what the quarterback's doing just by his movements.
A second down pass play there, but it's incomplete.
I certainly thought he had an open look beyond the first down marker to his receiver, but they just couldn't connect, and that will send them back to the drawing board.
Trying to pick it up on the ground with Harris. And he'll be touched out here, but not before he does pick up the first. Only 3 there on the pickup, but that's enough to move the chains. Second quarter, 2 minutes to go. Tie ball game.
Let's go.
Here's Jones on first down. He'll get this one to Pittman. And he's going to be taken down just shy of the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Throwing there, but this pass is going to wind up incomplete.
This could be the start of a nice stand from this defense now after getting walked backwards on this drive. Come through with another one here, and you have them staring at a 3rd and long, and that puts the defense in a position to dictate to the offense.
To throw on 2nd and 10, Jones. And he gets this one inside the 15, just a yard or 2 shy of the 10. That one covers 24 yards. It's a first down.
Oh, a lot of credit to the play caller here. He saw the design in his mind and implemented it. A little zone stretcher here because they started the tight end on the left side of the formation and set him on a crossing route. And this works really well where you can find that space between levels, and they were able to do so for good yardage.
2nd and 4. They could still get a first down without scoring. Harris running straight ahead. And he'll take it into the end zone for a Denver score. Najee Harris, his 8th rushing touchdown on the year. And the Broncos will take the lead here in the final minute of the first half. Extra point up and good by Sanders. And that makes the score 14-7. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. From a couple yards deep, he'll bring it out of the end zone. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Titans offense set to begin the drive. And with just under a minute to go, they might try to think about mounting a drive here if they can and get in the end zone. Could potentially tie this game up. Got an open man. It's Valdez-Scantling. And he'll get this up past the 25 before he's out of bounds. From the 28, it's 2nd and 5. They'll bring the tight end in motion right. To throw again on 2nd down. Carr. Catch is made by Metcalf. Touchdown, Titans. DK Metcalf with his 2nd touchdown here in this first half. And the Titans are an extra point away from tying the ball game here in the final minute of the first half. Elliott good on the extra point. That is going to tie our game as we approach halftime. This one tied at 14 now as he sends this one away. And this will not be returnable. It's out of the back of the end zone for a touchback. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And they've got a little over 40 seconds to work with if they want to try to put something together. And they're able to get this one across the 35. So from the 36 now, 1st and 10. Operating from the gun, Jones. His throw incomplete.
Had an open man that time, but ended up putting a little too much heat on it, don't you think, partner?
Absolutely, just needed a touch more air under it. Instead, he fired an absolute bullet. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Jones. Trying to get it to Thomas, and it's intercepted. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. CD, I know it's just his 2nd year in the league as a quarterback, but that's going to be one when he flips on the tape. He's like, I should shouldn't have thrown that ball.
No doubt about it, and his coaching staff will be emphatic about he shouldn't have thrown that ball. But remember, second year, as you noted, on-the-job training, so he's got to take this feedback that he's getting, negative or otherwise, and turn it into positives moving forward.
Throwing to start the drive, but that one incomplete.
That incompletion certainly slows things down a little bit and brings up a very important call for second and long. What do you do? Run and try and get some yardage and make it third manageable? Or challenge the coverage again, hoping for a bigger gain?
To throw again on second down. Carr. This one into the hands of Metcalf. And with 1 second left, they get the timeout. And they'll have a chance to kick the field goal before intermission. The kick by Elliott is good. And that will do it for this first half. So we've reached halftime here in Nashville, the Music City, with the Titans out in front. As we'll head down to Orlando, that's where we find our man Jonathan Coachman at our EA Sports Halftime Report. Coach. And we welcome you back live now inside the booth alongside Charles Davis. I'm Brandon Gaudin, set and ready to rock for the third quarter. The Titans hold the lead, and they'll get the football first as the third quarter gets underway. And here comes a return from just beyond the goal line. And they'll get him down right around the 25, actually the 26 officially, so a net gain of 1 there. Tennessee offense about set and ready to go. And Charles, they've got the lead. Put your coaching hat on here now. What's the game plan for the second half?
I think getting the running game going a little bit more, because I thought the first half they didn't get it moving the way that they would like. They had success throwing it, but I think these first couple of drives, they'll want to get those running backs going and give them more opportunities, and I will guarantee you that those guys were lobbying for them in the locker room at halftime.
Carr's throw taken in by Valdez-Scantling. And down he goes, but he takes it up to the 40. Just his second catch of the game so far. This one moves the chains.
As long as you go through your proper reads and progressions, the drag route can be one of those old reliable plays, because usually it's good for a good chunk of yardage, as we just saw there.
And those guys like it, right? They can get the ball with a full head of steam.
Especially against man coverage, because man coverage, particularly running away from someone and not worried about traffic coming out on the other end.
And now a throw on first down there, but it's incomplete.
I think he's got to be careful not to force anything into coverage right there. There weren't really any throwing lanes, but the best part for him, he's got second and third down to fall back on.
Now Carr, after the incomplete pass, brings him up 2nd and 10. Off the play fake, he'll look to throw. And, he's unable to hold on to that defensively. A potential game changer, but it falls incomplete. So back-to-back incompletions, and that has him staring at a 3rd and 10. Here's Carr. And he'll be brought down on the other side of midfield at the 43. And he's top 5 in the league in terms of receiving yardage because of plays like that. What have you seen from him on film that you like so much?
Well, I'll strip away everything else and get to what we call the moment of truth. When the ball's arriving and there's a defender there, he just comes down with the ball. He competes and takes it away. Great hands, great ability to finish the catch.
And very little there. He might have gotten a yard. Yeah, I think he got a yard to the 41. They go back to Pollard on 2nd down. And the lane closes up quickly as he'll get about 3 down to the 38. In the first half, he was held in check on the ground, but despite that lack of production, they still have the lead.
And they've got to feel fortunate about that. If they could actually get production from their lead horse, that would help open up this offense and widen this margin, too.
He's got his man, Valdez-Scantling. And he is out of bounds, but not before he's inside the 30. 12 yards there as they keep this drive rolling. It's another first down. They run straight ahead here with Pollard. And into the end zone for a Tennessee touchdown. Tony Pollard, 26 yards, as his guys are able to extend their lead. That seemed pretty ideal there for the offense, Charles. You take a little bit of time off the clock here in the third quarter, decent length drive, and you pad your lead as well at the end of it.
And what it does is let you feel like you're in control of this game, even more so than a 2-touchdown lead, right? Because you've taken that time off, as you noted, which means they couldn't get you off the field. You ran your playbook the way you wanted to, and you gave your defense some rest. What a big-time drive in that situation.
Here comes the return from the very back of the end zone. And he will be brought down here inside the 20. Good coverage as he's dropped at the 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And their deficit a little wider than it was at halftime. Does that touchdown a minute ago change the thinking here at all?
I think it does, at least a little bit, because now urgency has to start setting in. You can't go out there and go 3 and out and run the risk of falling behind substantially, but you have to do it without pressing, because pressing, that leads you into bigger errors.
And he'll get to the 29-yard line, brought down there. That one, a first down pickup of 8. Off the play fake, Jones. That is hauled in by Michael Thomas. And he goes out of bounds just shy of the 45. Denver has a first down on the 15-yard play. Off play action, Jones. Thomas brings it in. And he takes this one down almost all the way to the 30. Back-to-back receptions for him, and it's another first down.
A couple of first downs right in succession, and this is an offense that could really use a good drive, and they're off to a fast start here.
They'll look to throw again. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down.
Well, he'd been targeted quite a bit on this drive, and finally I think the guys on the defensive side, they said no more. They slapped the double coverage on him, made it very tough for him to get the ball.
On 2nd and 10, Jones. And it's intercepted at the goal line. Picked up by Richie Grant. And the Titans are going to have it here at their own 32-yard line. Well, field goals probably aren't going to cut it at this point. This was touchdown or bust, and unfortunately for them, it turned out to be bust.
Yeah, they're feeling like they've got to force the issue here and maybe take some chances they wouldn't have earlier in the game. But give credit to this defense. They've really stood tall throughout, and they come up with the interception in the end zone.
Dancing to his left, and he can't find anywhere to go with it, and he goes down. Draymond Jones. Credit him with a sack as he buries him for a loss of 10. So now 20 yards to go on 2nd down after the sack. Work to be done. Now a give here to Pollard. And nothing doing here as this time the run maybe gets him back to the line of scrimmage, but that's it. No gain on the play this time, and it'll be a 3rd and long situation coming up. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. We'll return with more after this break. You're watching the NFL on EA Sports. The Titans on 3rd down. They've been near perfect, 4 for 5 to this point. This will be 3rd and 19. Working from the gun, it's Carr. And intercepted, maybe the turning point they need. Picked off by the corner, Bradley Roby. Now with that interception, you feel like we got a ball game again. Remember, 2-score contest and still time left here in the 4th.
And in the old days, not too long gone either. Throwing the ball here would have been an absolute no-no, but the way the game's played now, throwing it makes sense. You just have to be careful when you put it in the air.
So operating from Tennessee territory now. Here's 1st and 10 as they've got it to the 28-yard line. Looking to throw. Jones. And this is incomplete. Oh, he had 6 points right in his hands but could not hang on. So now 2nd and 10 after the incompletion on first down. Off the play fake. Jones. And he's going to be intercepted a 3rd time. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race. And he will take this one home. It's a touchdown. So a 4th quarter pick 6 here, and that one might put this game out of reach, CD.
I certainly agree with that, partner, and I know one thing, though. That team that just got the pick 6, they're going to keep playing until this one's over. Better be careful. They're looking to get another one.
Elliott good with a PAT, and that'll make this a 3-score game now. The lead moves to 17. So they throw the pick 6. They'll get another shot at it now as this one's in the air. Taken at the goal line. And he'll go down as this drive will start at the 25-yard line. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. They were coming off the extra week of rest, but this team started sluggish, and it really didn't get any better from there. And trailing big here. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked by Emmanuel Mosley. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football.
A feather in the cap for the defender, picking off one of the league's better quarterbacks so far this season. And add another feather in the cap for the coaches, too. Excellent game plan, and they had their guys aware of his ability to roll out and how to defend against it.
Now after the INT, it's Carr. Under a heavy rush, and down he goes. Disrupting that play and dropping him was Arnold Ebiketie. Protection certainly going to need to be a bit better here on 2nd and 16. Another try after the first down sack. Carr looking downfield for Jones. And that going to be incomplete. Good effort there, trying to take a shot, but it's 3rd down.
I know conventional wisdom says, hey, don't get it all back in one play. But sometimes you go ahead and try to. They tried to get it all back on that one. Weren't able to do so.
On 3rd down, it's Pollard. Yeah, he'll work free from one tackle, but that's about all as he's taken down. Just a gain of 2 there, and it's going to bring up a 4th down. Here's Jake Elliott. Career long, by the way, for him, 61 yards. This will be from 56 yards out. That's running out of steam, and it won't get there. He left it just short. No good, and the lead will stay put at 17. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Where we stand right now in the 4th quarter, this one pretty much out of reach. And, Charles, I know they're going to be disappointed about several things with this ball game, but the self-inflicted wounds, they've had several turnovers. You'd have to think that's going to be something they're going to discuss heavily in the film session in the coming days.
You're absolutely right about that, partner, because they're going to have to sit in that film room and watch every error that they made and figure out how to not do it in the future. And mentally,
and my goodness, another interception. Jeremy Chin picks it off. And the Titans are going to take possession of the football. Well, there's 2 sides to this coin. I mean, on one side, 5 interceptions now thrown for him. That's tough. But, man, this defense, they have been ball hawking and impressive. But, Charles, let's flip it back over. If you're coaching a quarterback that's struggling this much at this stage of the game, do you maybe try to get him out?
I would think about it, and I think about it awfully hard. But also, you might want to look into his eyes, see what he has. He might be one of those players that you don't want to affect his confidence by actually pulling him out of the game. So you have to know your player. You have to know the situation.
It's a gain of maybe 3, but it's going to leave him with still about 8 or 9 to go on 3rd down. Carr going to throw. That ball is caught. Marquez Valdez-Scantling. And he doesn't quite make it, taking it within an eyelash. Dropped at the 1. On 3rd and 10, they go flying past the marker and get nearly 40 yards.
Even with the big lead here in the 4th, it still bombs away. And frankly, it's working. Why should they stop? Go ahead and keep firing away and gaining those yards.
And he will take this one in for a Titans touchdown. Alexander Madison punching it in from a yard away. And the Titans look like they're going to get back in the win column as they extend their lead here in this 4th quarter. Elliott good on the extra point, and the lead is now 24. There's the Titan kick team as they run up and send this one away. From a yard or two deep, here comes a return. And ultimately cannot get this out to the 25-yard line as he's dropped at the 23. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. Well, probably not much that they can do at this point, CD. Down 3 scores late in the 4th quarter. This is going to be a little too much to overcome, you would think.
Yeah, they'll go down swinging, but in the end, I think we saw the writing on the wall a while back because one team was clearly better than the other in this one. And while it didn't quite reach blowout status, I think we knew who was going to win this one well before we got to this stage.
And he'll be out of bounds just shy of the 40. A good pickup there, 21 yards. A 3-score game here late. You could probably rule out the comeback, but certainly some kind of a moral victory to be had if they can get a few more points to close things out. And to that end, a nice pass play there to push things downfield.
Yeah, and we know in this league, a loss is a loss, and no one wants anything to count as a moral victory or, boy, something that feels a little bit cheap. But if they trim that lead down to just 2 scores, that's still a benefit to this squad.
To throw once more on 2nd and 10. Jones. And that is caught. Touchdown, Denver. Tyreek Hill, 42 yards. And the Broncos are able to cut into that deficit. They'll try and throw for it. He's got it. So they convert the 2. That keeps their slim hopes alive as we're back to a 2-score game. Well, it's still an uphill battle from here, that's for sure, but that makes it a 2-score game.
And now we see why teams practice so much on the 2-point conversion, why you have more than one play ready, because you may need multiples to throw out a ball game. There's a great example right there.
They knew they needed a miracle. They had to have that onside kick. They didn't get it.
Well, as we knew, even before they put the toe to the leather on that one, their chances of getting that done, slim and none. And I do believe we saw Slim just leave the door, didn't we?
We did indeed. I think we're down to none. Arnold Ebiketie gets there for the stop. Have to imagine this will be on the ground as well as they come up 2nd and 7. Going to run again here with Pollard. And he's going to have to protect the football and take his lumps here at this stage of the game as they stop him behind the line. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as they'll stop it with just over 40 seconds to go in the game. If they want a first, they need to get the football to the 32 here on 3rd down. And he's going to be sacked. They sack him back right at the midfield stripe. Now a second timeout called for by the defense as they stop it here with just under 40 seconds to go in the game. Carr going to go on 4th down. And it's incomplete. They cannot convert, and they turn it over. The Titans try it, but ultimately they fail on 4th down. And this defense will take over right at midfield. Thomas, the man in motion left. To throw is Jones. He'll take a shot downfield for Pittman. And this one is incomplete.
When you're leading in the final quarter, your radar has to be up for any potential deep shots. And probably not the last one they're going to see in this game, not as long as they hold this lead.
Flushed out right. And this one incomplete. So the clock stopped now with 20 seconds remaining. Now they face a 3rd and 10 after back-to-back incompletions. Jones. And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Trey Flowers picks it, and the Titans will have solid field position here as they take over at their 45-yard line. Boy, so another interception, CD. It feels like he's starting to unravel a little bit.
And as you would expect, still a work in progress here in his second season. He has to start ironing out some of these mistakes, though, because now his head coach, his offensive coaches, they have to evaluate whether you keep playing him and let him work through it, or you start thinking about going to his backup.
Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. Well, this was a very close ball game at halftime, Charles, but in the second half, that offense kind of kicked things into another gear, and they were able to pull away for the victory.
Well, Brandon, I think they're the type of team that just looked in the mirror and said, hey, ton of pressure on, but we're the type of team that can flat out handle it. They stood up with confidence, and made it happen for a victory.
So for Tennessee,